Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, it is Targran here, and as you can tell, we're back to the regular format. This time around, we'll be covering Rengar, the Pride Stalker, and Kha'zix, the Void Reaver. Enjoy. The Beastman Rengar never knew his real parents, and nor he can tell what species they were. He'd been abandoned as a little child deep in the wilderness, possibly to die without tainting the conscience of his parents. Luckily for himself, he'd been found by a human, who decided to take the child home and take care of Rengar, saving him from certain death. The man was a skilled hunter, one of the few masters left of his craft, and watching Rengar grow up, he saw some kind of hidden potential within the young beastman. He decided to pass his teachings to Rengar. The boy eagerly learned all lessons that his new father could teach him, and he didn't just repeat them. He used his feral instincts and enhanced senses to improve upon his father's teachings. It didn't take him long to surpass the old man. Before even reaching adulthood, Rengar moved on. He left his father's home and set up his own shack away from civilization. He'd marked a large patch of territory surrounding the shack and claimed it as his private hunting grounds. To scare off any trespassers, he started mounting heads of his prey on spikes, putting them along the border of his territory. Day after day, he'd been hunting on his territory, hoping to perfect his craft. Rengar thought of this as a chance to fulfill himself. On the walls of his den, he collected trophies of beasts he had slain, as a dread sign of his achievements. Instead, however, he started growing more bored with every beast that he had slain. The experience has only added to his training and natural potential. His prey had become predictable. He already knew where to look for them, where they will be trying to run, and how many animals of one kind he can encounter. There was not a single beast on his territory to challenge him. Wolves, bears, they were all too weak, too pitiful. With each day, Rengar was growing worried that he would never find an opponent worthy of himself. Days had been passing and Rengar could find no beast that was too dangerous for him. Slaying dozens of wild animals daily, he was afraid they would never feel the thrill of the hunt once again, that he would be stuck in his own slow routine. What his father thought of as a blessing turned to be Rengar's biggest curse. He was naturally a perfect hunter. He was perfect at what he did, and no one could match his skills. When the Pride Stalker had lost almost all his hope, he encountered something weird. During a regular hunt in his forest, Rengar noticed a monster. It was an alien thing, disturbing and not fitting its surroundings. It was a bizarre mixture of a bug, man and a beast. With gigantic claws, a pair of wings and a hard shell on its body, he was tearing through animals, devouring them with no problem. The thing he encountered was Kha'zix, the beast of the void. Like Cho'Gath and Kog'Maw before him, Kha'zix came to this world to look for opportunity to follow their own plans, unknown to anyone else but them. For Kha'zix, it was an opportunity to evolve. His body was able to adapt itself to the world surrounding it, and enemies that Kha'zix encounters. Unfortunately, the Void is not the best place for such abilities. Because of that, the Void Reaver was forced to leave his home world through damaged barrier between the Void and Runeterra. There he started looking for ways to evolve, to make himself even better warrior than he already was. At first he encountered nothing that could be a danger to him. Small animals, vermins and harmless soft humans that could not help him in any way. He needed something more powerful, more promising. He needed to travel across the land and look for its most dangerous beasts in order to devour them, and use their genes in his own evolution. Just like Rengar, he'd been hunting every kind of beast, every predator he could find. He did not collect any trophies, however. They were all part of him. Each kill made him better in some way. He was becoming stronger, faster, more agile. His body turned into a deadly weapon with the additional scythe-like claws and wings gave him the ability to run away from most foes that he could encounter on Valoran, and outside of it as well. His power was increasing rapidly, compared to its stillness back in the Void. That is what Kha'zix craved for. Surprisingly to himself, when he was devouring yet another prey of his hunt, the roles had been turned. Before Kha'zix could react, he'd been struck with a wild storm of claws, blades and fur. He had to defend himself, but it wasn't easy. He was rather surprised that this could even happen. For Rengar, it was nice to feel the thrill of the hunt once again. A true challenge. That is what he wanted for the longest time now. Trading blows with the alien beast was not easy for the Pride Stalker, but he was determined to bring him down. Most of his attacks were reflected by armoured shell of the beast, but some went through, cutting right through soft flesh. The Void Reaver didn't hold back either. His scythes were leaving bloody marks all over Rengar's body. None of them wanted to give up. After a few long hours, Rengar had lost his eye and Kha'zix's body was heavily damaged. They were both near death and had to reluctantly stop their assault on one another to go back and regenerate their strength. Rengar crawled back to his den while Kha'zix ran away into the forest. For Kha'zix's period of healing was not hard nor long. His body was capable of regeneration rather quickly, using substances that he could obtain from his prey, and yet he could never forget that fight. This man that he had fought and countered might of the void like it was nothing. He was strong and brave. He would make a great addition to the collection of victims that Kha'zix had collected. For Rengar, healing was more difficult. It was a harsh period, rendering nearly useless as a warrior. But despite all that, he was somehow happy. Many injuries that he could easily heal over time with little help. It was a small cost for what he had found. A worthy opponent. An opponent that reminded him the thrill of hunting someone more dangerous than he was. He had now reserved a space for Kha'zix's head on his trophy wall. It would be a centerpiece of his collection. Well, that's pretty much us done for this week. You can let us know what you think by pressing the like button and leaving your feedback in the comments section below. There is also our Facebook page that you could like and a whole lot of previous videos for you to watch. You can watch them to make sure that there's one video you wanted to request isn't done yet before you post your comments. And as always, I'll see you next time.